Hey folks, John Moore here, your favorite Neurospicy spiritual teacher. I teach shamanism and meditation. I live in Maine and I have been diagnosed with ADHD, yet I have meditated my entire life. In this video, I want to talk about choosing the right kind of meditation for you, particularly if you have attention differences. If you're neurospicy in the attention department, if you've got ADD or ADHD, diagnosed or undiagnosed, many people that I talk to about meditation, they're like, oh, I can't meditate because I have intrusive thoughts. I can't stop my thoughts. I can't do this. I can't do that. So I'm going to give you some tips, and I'm going to give you some ways to think about meditation that may be helpful. Meditation is good for you. It's fantastic. The research is out there. You can find thousands and thousands of research studies describing the benefits of meditation to health, to physical health, mental health. You do not have to do it as a form of spirituality. You can do a completely secular meditation, or you can do it as part of spirituality. You can go out and study Buddhism or other meditative practices. One thing I will tell you is that there are, who knows, an infinite variety of ways to meditate. So many techniques that you have. The world is your oyster, right? And part of what makes people successful at meditation is choosing the right form of meditation. That's one of the things I want to help you with today. So a couple of tips. One, let go of the idea of getting a specific result from any given meditation. If you sit down and say, I'm going to stop my thoughts, you're not going to stop your thoughts, unless you're a fully enlightened Buddha at this point in your life. And if you're watching this video, you probably aren't. You probably have better things to do. You're not going to stop your thoughts. Give up the idea of doing that. The idea in meditation is that you're going to not cling to your thoughts and you're not going to push them away. Meditation is not about struggle. It's not about strain, okay? So sit down and relax. The other thing I would add is you don't want to, generally speaking, start practicing meditation by sitting on the ground and trying to meditate for 2 hours, right? That's like going to the gym without ever having gone to the gym and trying to bench press 400 pounds. It's not going to work. You're never going back to the gym. That's not going to work. You're never going to sit down and meditate. If you've never meditated before, start with 30 seconds once a day for a week. Then add another 30 seconds. Build up to 5 minutes. Stay there for a few weeks. Then add a minute. Over time, build up to 20 minutes 3 times a week or 5 times a week or 7 times a week, even better. You get the benefits of meditation are cumulative. They come from regular practice. Yes, it is very powerful to go to a retreat and sit in meditation for 12 hours a day or whatever. But if your attention doesn't facilitate that, that's going to be very challenging. Over time, meditation will help you build that focus and attention. So it's a really great practice for folks like me who have ADHD, and I think it can be a good practice for everyone. And again, I've talked about the health benefits. So first tip, start small. Start very small. Second tip, let go of clinging to any results. Let go of the expectation that you are going to suddenly turn your thoughts off like that. Nobody does that. I don't care if you've got ADD or ADHD or not. Nobody does that. So don't expect that you will. If you do, congratulations, you are the Buddha. But probably, again, not watching this video. So I'm going to put a chart up over here. And this is my third tip, and this is an important one. This is a way to think about styles of meditation that might work for you, okay? Because this key is about finding the type of meditation that is going to work the best for you. And what works for you might not work for me, but here's a way of thinking about meditation. So what meditation is, and most people don't boil it down at all or describe what it is, but meditation, the practice of meditation is about absorbing the attention, right? It is giving yourself something that absorbs your attention long enough for your thoughts to start to slow down. The side effects of that are lowered blood pressure, lowered stress, better social relationships. All of these things are well studied, okay? But we have to figure out a way to absorb the attention. So this grid represents the different ways that you can absorb your attention. There's two sort of axes here. The first one is internal versus external. I can focus my attention on something internal or something external. Something internal might be the feeling of my breath, or I might be repeating a mantra in my mind. Something external might be staring at a candle flame, or looking at a mandala on the wall, or listening to chanting, or lots of other things. So that's internal, external. The other internal, external on this axis. And then the other axis is narrow or wide focus. So narrow focus, narrow internal focus might be, again, repeating that one mantra over and over again, like really, really narrow down. Wide internal focus might be, I am going to sit here and just observe my thoughts, observe whatever comes up in my attention. Narrow external focus might be staring at a candle flame, as I've discussed, or picking a point on the wall and staring at that, or picking some like very tiny repeated activity, chanting a mantra out loud and listening to the sound of that, or ringing a bell and following the sound of that bell until it dissipates. Okay, it's external narrow focus. External wide focus might be something like gazing at the sky and allowing the mind to become clear like the sky. It's a very popular Buddhist meditation. Those things, those are 4 dimensions. They're not the only dimensions, but those are 4 ways of looking at different types of meditation. For me, the thing that works best might not be for you, but my ADHD is more pacified when my attention is narrow and internal. If I'm meditating on something like holding a picture in my mind, it is a little bit of challenging for my brain to throw up other thoughts. That doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Okay? So find different forms of meditation that fit in those boxes. You might try a narrow internal and narrow external focus. Wide focus meditations I find are a little bit harder with ADHD because there's more room to be distracted. Right? There's more room if I have a wide internal focus and I'm watching my thoughts. What you don't want to do in those types of meditations is follow those thoughts. But my attention will go, oh, I wonder what we're having for lunch tomorrow. What was in my coffee this morning that made it taste sweet? I didn't put any sweetener in. What was, and then I'll find, direct it back. Don't get caught up in the thoughts. Don't follow them. Just allow them to arise and dissipate. That's a little bit more challenging for me. I have practiced that form of meditation before. I find it very beneficial. But there are ways of doing that. I will teach that in a future future video. I will teach a way to use the attention in that way, but in a more focused way, so that can be helpful. So look at different forms of meditation. I find body scan meditation is really good. For example, if it is done in a way where the attention's on a very small area of the body. So one form of meditation I've done is you start with the top of your head and you place your attention on a space that's about, like the size of a postage stamp. And then you move it, 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 and then you move it. That is a very narrow internal focus. Okay? Scanning over your body, just experiencing what is there, what you're feeling there. If your attention wanes, you move it to the next thing. So this is giving your attention. Meditation is essentially a trick to absorb your attention. So you're giving your attention something else to cling on to, which can be helpful for ADHD. So try out different forms. Sometimes with ADHD, with folks I know who have or ADD, have attention neurospiciness, you might benefit from guided meditation. having somebody like guide you through something to imagine or something to focus on. Again, you can try these out and see where the focus is. But I want to give you some ways of thinking about meditating, and it is good for you, and you can, yes, you can do it. If you tell me you can't, I'm not going to believe you. You can. You just haven't found the way that works for you yet. If you find yourself, here's a random thought. If you find yourself saying, I can't do something, and you catch yourself saying, I can't, tag the word yet onto the end of it. I can't meditate yet. Because that will start to open your belief to the possibility that in the future you will be able to. I hope that's helpful. I will have more for you. If you are not already part of my school-based tribe, there will be a link down below where you can go and join. It is very reasonable. There's lots of great activity. We're meditating together. We're creating art together. Where there are classes. The community is fantastic. It's all spiritual seekers, but from different angles, different experiences, that sort of thing. And I teach there pretty regularly, and we'd love to have you check us out and see if it fits for you. So give it a look, and we'll talk to you very soon.